Okay, so let's begin with the discussion. So, welcome to another episode of Entab CampusCare EdTalks Students Special Edition. Today, we have some great young minds from schools all over the country to share their viewpoints and experiences with us. So, before moving forward, let me introduce you to NTAP. With an experience of more than 2 decades, NTAP has been associated with over 1,500 schools across India, evolving them to become new age digital campuses by providing them mature and futuristic ERP, CRM, and mobile apps. So, in today's session, we'll discuss that do online learning apps really work? We'll understand that how they can provide a concept in a very interesting and engaging manner, but also how they may lack in the human touch of the classroom. So, to discuss the same, we have lovely kids with us. So, let us start by the introduction. So, Navya, can you please introduce yourself?
Everyone, I am Navya Arora. I study in Columbia Foundation School, New Delhi.
Thank you, Navya. Then next, Ria, please introduce.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ria Hirvani from grade 12, studying in BK Birla Public School, Kalyan. I like singing, listening to music, and I write poems as well. And I strongly believe that he who walks honestly walks securely. Thank you.
Great, great, great. So, next up, we have Pia. Pia, please introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, I'm Pia, a student of class 11th at HRA International School. My hobbies include traveling, reading books. I also I also like to write some poems and stories as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Pia. Next, we have Meghna. Can you please introduce yourself, sweetheart?
Namaste, host, all my fellow competitors, and all the viewers on YouTube. I'm Meghna Chavli from class 12th, Commerce, and I'm representing this. I'm representing Pallavi Model School on this discussion forum. Thank you.
Okay. Next, but not the least, Anandini.
Warm greetings of Saturday afternoon to one and all present here. Thank you, ma'am, for giving me a chance to introduce myself. Well, myself, Nandini, a name right from the Sanskrit root word Nand, which means rejoice, a woman who fills everyone with joy. On educational front, I am an 11th grade commerce student studying in Ashram Modern School, Saharanpur. Ma'am, my strength is that I'm comfortable in talking to new people and eager to know their life story, the experience they face, and the opinions they place. Talking about my goals, my long-term goal is to be a chartered accountant. Thank you.
That's great. That's great. So let's begin the discussion for today. So first of all, the first thing that our audience would like to know that how has been your personal experience with the learning apps? So starting with Ria. Ria, what is your take on this?
So, to be very honest, I don't have a proper personal experience with any online learning app, but I've watched demo sessions and I've heard many of my friends talk about them. So, overall, I feel the experience for most of the students is always good, it's always satisfying. And there's the don't understand a concept as at school, you can go back home and watch it on the online app. So, it gives you that satisfaction that you have a backup, and also it gives you so many facilities. You have doubt solving sessions, you have tests. So yes, of course online learning apps are helpful, and the overall experience for most of them is always good.
So Ria, currently are you using any learning apps? Like, are you using?
Not right.
Okay, okay. So moving on, next we have Navya. Navya, what are your views on this?
Personally, I have used quite a few learning apps and I have found most of them helpful. And I have some advantages that I personally feel other people can use. So, I am a science student. So, as a science student, these learning apps basically make visualization of things easy. That is a very important thing. And moreover, when I'm practicing questions, obviously these learning apps provide you with lectures, questions,
be a little bit louder.
Okay, yeah, sure. So I can basically bookmark important questions.
You're not
I
audible, Navya.
okay, ma'am. Just
You can just fix it, these things. We'll get back to you again. Okay, Navya? So next we have Pia. Pia, what is your take on this?
Ma'am, actually, I don't have a personal experience, but I have attended some online classes. The online apps are really helpful because they help you visualize the things. Being a science student, I can understand that visualizing the things make everything better. It makes a better learning. But yes, traditional way of learning, which makes you a which helps you to get a direct interaction with the teacher, cannot be satisfied. But yes, just as she said, it can work as a backup. Means if you have missed some class or you want to revise or you want to learn something, you can just go for that.
Right. So Meghna, what is your take on this?
As my fellow competitors have previously stated that even they weren't familiar with how these learning apps work, even I am one of those who have had friends who actually use learning apps, and hence my thoughts on it. So here, basically, we have self-assessment. Self-assessment is it helps in a very it serves as a bonus point, as basically in schools you don't the teacher at times fails to potential and what you are capable of, your understanding capacity, your grasping abilities. But here in self-assessment, you are subjected to assessing yourself, which actually makes you play fairer and also makes you play fairer and also assess yourself on a very honest basis. And here the best part is it is available 24/7, so there's no issue of time, and you can keep clarifying or contact your mentors for any queries that you have. And this doesn't have to be on a particular time like you do in school. It can be any time via mail or any other messaging facilities. And here we have test series. Basically, in every single learning app, we have test series, which helps you in revision or relearning. So this all, and I feel a key point in the learning apps is when you have this linguistic preference. So you can choose according to your language and understand better. Many students fail to understand when it's basically in English or any other language. So they can choose it according to their their language preference, and they can go accordingly.
Yes. So Nandini, over to you next.
Ma'am, I agree with all of them. But as per my understanding, online app and online learning experience basically consist of more of using pre-recorded lectures. These tended to be either on some application UI or some document with audio and video attached by the teacher. But the most beneficial part, which I feel of using these apps, is that I can pause it for a minute to take a note, absorb the information, or I can also revisit to the various part of the video, which might be not possible in offline classes. Although I find it rather interesting to have that pause button in my offline classes, but majorly these apps helped me to complete my high school study during this COVID-19 times when the whole world was on hold. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Nandini. So we move on to Navya. Navya, I suppose your net connection is fixed now.
yeah. Am I audible now?
Navya, you are बहुत कम आवाज आ रही है आपकी.
Am I audible now?
Yes, Navya, go ahead.
Yeah, is it okay?
Perfect.
So I was saying that I've used quite a few learning apps, and I've found most of them student, and using these apps basically makes visualization of things easy for me, and that is a very important part if you are a science student or if you are understanding the science concepts. Maybe visualization is important in each and every part of our journey when we learn, so that we can connect it to our daily day-to-day activities. um, as I'm preparing for my boards or my competitive exams, I can basically solve questions. So if I feel like some questions are important, I can just bookmark them and I can revise them whenever I want to. And I can get ebooks on these apps. That is, I don't have to carry all of my books everywhere. And some of the features that I like are flashcards. They provide you flashcards. They provide you target setting. You can set your targets and basically work in them. So I have had overall a positive experience with these apps, so I would surely recommend people to use that.
Okay, thank you, Navya. So the next question for the discussion is like, while using learning apps, do you feel that they are more engaging and interesting? And if yes, what are the main reasons behind it? So this question is for Ria.
Yes, so of course, online learning apps are interesting and they are engaging too, because what provides them an upper hand, these online learning apps, is that they use technology at its best. So they're going to show us animations, wonderful pictures, videos of certain concepts. They're going to add sound effects. So, for example, if they're showing a photo of a thunder, so they're going to add sound effects of thunder, and again, it's going to be even more interesting to watch such things. And yes, of course, it's more like it visual. So if it's visualized for us, we like viewing it, and then it also grabs our attention. So yes, of course, online apps are interesting and engaging as well.
Okay. So next is like, while using an online learning app, do you miss your teacher? I mean the human connect that you feel in the classroom. So Pia, what do you think on this?
While using an online learning app, yes, you have so many good features. Like you can replay a video when you do not understand something. You have flashcards. You can bookmark something. But yes, mind to mind connect, or we can say face to face connect, is not given in that. Though if you are in a live class, you can talk to teacher. Teacher can talk to you. Still, a human connect is lacking, which cannot be satisfied by technology, of course. Yes, if uncomparatively, the online apps are perfect. But if we have a sort of comparison, the teacher can understand by our gestures, by our face, that do we understand the concept or not. So online apps are good, but comparatively, the traditional learning could be better. And yes, it is, because in this pandemic, we brought up with the online apps because it was just an adjustment to the situation, which can say, which is now getting normal, and means it was just an adjustment which we have brought up, and online apps could not take the place of traditional learning, according to me.
Okay. So next we have like, according to you, like guys, what can provide a more personal experience to learning? A learning app or a school? So Meghna, what you feel about it?
Mom, I feel both the methods, both the traditional and online, are equally important and better in their own ways. But here, we have intervals during classes that help us, engage with our fellow students, and which keep us active and attentive, so as to pay better attention in the next class. And this happens to energize us, boost our energy levels, and we stay active the whole time. But sadly, the same is not seen in the online classes, because the cameras on, and especially in learning apps, you don't really have an option to switch on your camera, so the attention span is relatively very low. And here, I mean, your posture, your etiquettes towards your fellow students or teachers, it vastly differs. And also, there is a lot of passiveness in your any debate or discussion skills, and this also hinders the personality growth. And here, while in the old traditional method, that is the offline schooling, you have active debates, discussions, friends to talk to, engage with, and also you tend to be less tired and less lethargic. And even the breaks provided here, you sit, you have no one to look forward to while talking. It's just a small break, you are by yourself. But when in school, you have people around you, and socializing is one of it is a necessity for humans to socialize. So staying at home is relatively rather relatively depressing. So that is what I feel. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Meghna. So moving on, Nandini. So,
I
Nandini,
would like to add up something to the previous question. Sorry, ma'am, for the interruption.
no issues,
I
go
would
ahead.
like to add up something to the previous question. Ma'am, I
Sure.
think learning by app or learning in school should not be a choice. I feel learning in school by using an online app. When student is physically present, there should be a new education model of a country. As I strongly believe that no matter how our technology can develop, the computer programs or products, it can never replace the knowledge and the experience that teacher brings. Thank you.
Thank you, Nandini. So, Nandini, yes, I was saying, Nandini, according to you, what can provide a more personalized experience to learning, a learning app or a school?
Ma'am, as I said earlier, learning by app or learning in school should not be a choice.
Mhm.
Learning in school by using an online app when student is physically present there should be a new model of our education system. Although I know that traditional teaching makes a concept more bit engaging and lacking in making it interesting, whereas online app leaves an imprint in the mind of the student by some visualization content, making it concept engaging as well as interesting. So yeah, I feel that it's our own choice what we have to choose. As we know, both the cases have some advantages and disadvantages. It's our own duty to change negatives into positives. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Navya. Next, we have we might often forget a concept taught in the school after the class. But a learning app gives you an option to switch to any concept whenever and wherever you want to. So, in your opinion, how can this be helpful for the students to learn at their own pace? So, Nandini, what do you think about it?
Ma'am, my personal experience consists basically of using, as I said, pre-recorded lectures. So it provided me recorded lectures, which is personally beneficial for me. So there were discussion forums. We can also basically type our queries. Also, it gives an advantage to students to go on their own pace rather on, not depending on the teacher's instruction. Also, there's an advantage if we are talking about the pace of the student. There is an advantage to the students who are disably, not correct. So they can also, feel the environment of the traditional teaching, which they might not get in offline classes. So thank you.
So, Navya, what do you feel about it?
I feel that there are all types of students in a classroom. Some are very spontaneous, they'll grab concepts very easily and, in a very quick manner. And while some take a while to digest those things and, grasp all of that and digest it. So, in a school, a teacher comes and teaches, and there are a lot of times when you haven't understood the concept, or maybe you just miss something because you were talking to your friend or something like that. So basically you miss that. You can obviously go reach out to the teacher and ask her again, but if in case you miss that too, learning apps take an edge over it, because you are watching a lecture, you see ki, you cannot grasp that thing, so you can just rewind it. And what happens is when you are preparing for an exam, so there are a lot of times when we forget concepts, so you can just go reach back to those videos, watch that in future. So we basically have that content saved and you can watch it anytime you want. So that is a big edge that learning apps take over the the school learning. So yeah, I would go with learning apps on this.
Okay, so what I feel, guys, is we are talking about learning apps, online learning apps, than the traditional chalk and duster classroom teaching, right? So what I feel is both of the thing, दोनों की अपने अपने pros and cons हैं, ठीक है? So but what I personally feel is कि जो proper traditional teaching होती है, chalk and duster teaching, proper old traditional method of teaching, that has a more say personal touch, because क्या होता है कि it is also like कि जब हमें कोई टीचर स्कूल में पढ़ाती है एंड वो हमें कुछ लिखने, सपोज वो कुछ डिक्टेट कर रही है, कुछ लिखने के लिए बोलती है, तो इफ यू आर राइटिंग समथिंग, तो वो चीज हमारे मेमोरी में ज्यादा टाइम तक रिटेन रहती है. सो गाइस, व्हाट डू यू थिंक, जस्ट योर ओपिनियंस की आपका क्या ओपिनियंस है इस चीज पे? Which is more better, classroom, the normal traditional way of teaching, or the this thing, learning apps, learning through these online learning apps? Anyone can start.
Ma'am, may I?
Sure, yeah.
Ma'am, I believe whatever you said is correct. And so every teacher has a different way of teaching the same concept. So, a teacher adds his or her personal touch to the concept, and that is the reason we have favorite teachers and all those things. So, also, I believe that in a classroom, in a proper chalk and duster classroom, as you said, we have everybody. Like we have our friends, and there are some students whom we don't like talking, or we have different kinds of students, different opinions, different personalities. And there in that classroom, all of us have to sit together, and only one teacher is teaching us. So, that is a completely different environment, which I believe can never happen in an online app. So that, and also I still remember one of my personal experiences at school. So, we used to have these craft lectures. So, if in a particular row, only one student has got the Fevicol bottle, so the whole row, all the students used to use the same Fevicol bottle.
Right.
So we used to share so many things, and so we have a lot of memories, and online apps, I believe, can never provide those.
Okay.
And I would like to add something.
Sure, go ahead.
Ma'am, according to me, all the models, whether it be physical classes, online app system, or rote learning system, are partially. The question we as a youth need to ask ourselves is how wrong do these apps have to be to not to be useful? And I would also like to share my personal experience as well. When I was in 10th standard, so my teacher used to teach me the concept practically. So what she did at one day, she brought a prism in a science lab. She opened the window and the whole room was dark. So she managed to bring a white screen and she adjusted it behind the prism. And we saw a white light dispersion into 7 beautiful colors. And then it is the solution of our question. Ma'am, I think the model which practically can show the concept when the student is physically present, there is a more correct way than watching any animated video. So yes, ma'am.
Absolutely right. So और किसी को कुछ बोलना है? मेघना, yes.
Yes, ma'am. I do understand.
Ma'am, I would like to add something.
Okay. Just एक बार मेघना को बोले तो उसके बाद you can. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So
Yes,
here
ma'am.
I totally second Nandini's concern, but practicality is not the only base for children to understand further, because there are children who like it. Like some like it textual, some like it visual, meaning it can be of any form, animated or anything. So there are different ways a student learns. So I feel practicality is not the only thing that needs to be the base for the base for dividing the base for dividing or considering traditional method better than the online method, because the way the teacher teaches, the communication skills also play a major role. Because personally, there were instances where I did not understand certain concepts in school, so had to go to YouTube to understand it further. So here in YouTube, I've seen that some of the teachers, the lecturers, they understand the students' method of understanding and hence go the same way. But in school, since it's singular mode, like monopolitic mode of teaching is practiced, it might not be favorable to at least half or minority or maybe majority of the students. So yes, even communication plays a very important role while teaching. Yes.
Okay, so who wants to share something?
I'm sorry to interrupt.
I wanted to.
Okay,
May I?
Pia. Okay, go ahead.
So, ma'am, I wanted to say that why to limit traditional way of learning just to chalk and duster? Means there could be some smart boards in the classroom which help enhance the knowledge of the students, which makes sure that there are teachers also who are explaining it that way. So, I mean to say that the best way that I feel like that could be is merging the traditional way of learning with the new online or the technology way, because it would be the best. Means in the child is going to school, he is learning something, for example any concept of any subject, teacher is showing a visualization on the smart board or something, and then with that only she is explaining, because we are reading from the textbook and then explaining like that. So other than that, we can visualize the thing and the teacher can explain, and after that we can have certain videos or something at our home which are just connected to the app we used in the school. So that could be the best experience, I feel like.
Okay, so Pia was saying the combination of both would be best, right?
Ma'am, I would like to add something.
Yes, Navya, go ahead.
As Meghna said that you can go home and watch YouTube, and then she said that communication is important. So if I talk about learning apps, communication is obviously relatively less than what we have in schools. In these learning apps, usually if a live class is going on, you can obviously type on the live chat. Only that amount of communication is there, and the teacher is teaching approximately thousands of students at the same time. So the chat is so fast that he might not even able to see a question or something like that. So if we talk about in terms of communication, obviously school takes over the edge over all these learning apps. And what I would like to add upon is, and what I think is the most important thing is, um, school is not just about learning. You not just go there to learn cram concepts. You go there for your overall development. You are groomed there, how to behave, how to eat, how to speak, how you learn languages, you learn so much. And these learning apps, a child who's in a very small age, he'll not be able to know how to communicate to people, how to sit in a social gathering. So that is something that is very important that schools provide us.
Very well said, Navya. So, Nandini?
I would like to add something to it.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I think it is also time consuming to basically type a query on an online app or on a YouTube. And it is more convenient and easier for a children and a student to understand what is the problem of a children, basically in physical classes. So I think so. I think in a way of asking queries, I think traditional classes is much better option than the online apps.
Okay, so next moving on. So we are already dependent on technology, and how depending on apps for learning will increase the dependency. Is there a way we can avoid or at least try and create the balance for the same? So, Pia, what do you want to say on this?
Ma'am, on this, I would like to just say, as I said previously, that the best match could be a mixing or a mixed match of the online learning and the traditional learning. Because, for example, a student in nursery is sitting at home and attending online classes. So he's not knowing that what even a school is. He is being passed to further classes. So that's not good when it's in a traditional classroom. A nursery class child watching a classroom, he could understand my classmates up to that and not me. So it was sort of encouraging. And the other thing is that for the same concept, we can have a method that, for example, a child have to learn any poem, any nursery rhyme. So it can be visualized to the child so that he understands that better, and then teacher can explain, and then of course reciting the poem is the best method. So what I feel is that the mix and match of both, the traditional learning and the online learning, is the best method. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Pia. So next we have Meghna. What is your take on this?
Mom, let us not forget the fact that due to the currently ongoing pandemic, the education we receive nowadays has also become online. So, according to me, this dependency on technology can't really be balanced until this situation of pandemic is normalized. So,
No, but
taking a
Meghna, sorry to interrupt you. We are not talking about online learning. We are talking about the online learning apps.
yes, mom, I'm just interconnecting it. So,
Okay,
uh,
go ahead.
but here, in a case where this can actually be balanced, students can refer to the learning apps in regular intervals, so as to revise or relearn a topic or a concept that they aren't thorough with. So they can actually learn something in class, and if they aren't thorough, they can switch to the learning apps to understand better or relearn their concepts. So this will also help them to learn more in less time, giving them more time to spend with their family and friends, and it also helps them grasp a lot in the meantime. So I think that's my stance on this. Yes.
Okay. So Ria, what do you want to say on this?
Ma'am,
Yes, Ria.
I believe that we are already dependent on technology for almost everything nowadays. So even if I have a doubt, I'll post it on the online app and they'll give me the answer in just a few hours. So I believe we can at least try and stop doing this and we can discuss it with our friends. So we can form a group of students and we can discuss certain concepts that we aren't comfortable with, or we can discuss our doubts and everything. So also I personally believe that what a friend can explain is way more better than in a class that you learn in a classroom with so many people through the teacher. So I believe we can discuss with our friends and classmates as well. And even if it is online, we are learning online these days. We can call our friends, and that's how we can actually at least try and stop being dependent on technology.
Okay. So Navya, what do you feel about it?
I would like to say that even if we are calling up our friends, we are using technology for it. So that's not really decreasing the dependence on technology. And in this pandemic situation,
Navya,
um,
can you please be a little bit loud?
in this pandemic situation, I don't think that uh, online learning can be replaced, but obviously we can reduce the dependence, because I've seen children who just sit in front of their PS4, Xbox, or take their phones and play games all day and everything. So what can parents do is try to make them play games like hide and seek and stuff like that, in which technology is not involved. And a lot of things, like you can refer to a dictionary for um, searching the name of a meaning of a word instead of searching it on a Google. And you can refer to books, you can refer to all of those, you can just read the content in books instead of just googling it up or watching a video. Or maybe you can practically do it, because we in our books the activities are given. So to understand it in a better way, you can practically do it at your home. So in all these situations, you're basically reducing your dependence on technology. But obviously it cannot be replaced at this time of the year, because we are stuck at our homes.
Okay, so Nandini.
Ma'am, I totally agree with Pia and Ria. We can use technology as a helping hand, but not as a master. And then I think we should need to understand that we cannot compare online app learning with hands-on learning. So there's a huge gap and difference between these both cases. And obviously some have advantages and disadvantages, which I've already said as well. So we have to change these negative points into positives. Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you everyone. Thank you Nandini, Ria, Pia, Meghna, and then Navya. So thank you so much, guys, for sharing your insights upon this topic, and it was great interacting with every one of you. So thank you so much,
It's
and
just
thank you.
last, I will thank you to give me this platform, and I will like to ask the audience which are viewing these live sessions that we have to understand that these online apps are the only way through which we can provide cheap yet quality education. But we have to stop making these online apps as a blind business. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
So,
ma'am.
okay,
Thank
so
you,
I
ma'am.
suppose the after discussion we can come to conclusion that combination of both learning apps, online learning apps, and traditional learning. If we combine these both things, I can I what I feel is like the combination of both uh, is a good this thing, right? What do you guys feel?
And I agree. Somehow these online apps are the future of our country, like a developing country, India, during these COVID-19 times. Sorry for the interruption.
Okay, yes, Meghna.
Yes, mom. So I totally agree with Nandini. It is that, I mean, being a strong, a firm believer of physical education, like a physical environment for learning, I feel that both learning online and offline shouldn't cancel out each other, as both have their equal standpoints. And here, being actually studying in a physical environment may provide us with the local knowledge, but I might also have to say that having a global paradigm where you are exposed to many more students who can help you with many mnemonics and better solutions and a better view of how a problem can be solved. I feel both have equal importance, and people should not cancel out one for the other or stand strongly to either one, but actually use both of these to have a better future ahead. So, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. So, thank you everyone for being with us. And it was great interacting with all of you lovely kids. So, thank you so much. And to all our viewers who are watching us, if you haven't subscribed the channel, so what are you waiting for? Do subscribe it for regular updates. Till then, stay happy, stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, mom.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am.